Disinformation and fake news represents one of the biggest challenges of 21st century, especially for Georgia, given the difficult geopolitical situation. So, countering disinformation requires complex approach, and first, it is needed to develop a long-term vision. At the same time, it's necessary to monitor and respond to disinformation on a daily basis. And the government of Georgia is working on the government communication strategy, which includes disinformation and cybersecurity. This document is being written for the first time and aims at developing a unified version of proactive, coherent, and coordinated communication system between the government and the public, which on the one hand will help raise public awareness and on the other hand be tailored to Georgia's government's long-term communication goals.
The first component of countering disinformation is proactive communication, creating compelling narratives or filling the communication void before disinformation can distort the truth. And this effort requires involvement of full spectrum of actors, including media organizations, private sector, and civil society organizations. And I would say that government should make sure that all these different actors see their need and role in this process. Field experts often say that countering disinformation requires a creative, collaborative and coordinated implementation of the full spectrum of activities in order to achieve the best result. Media organizations should constantly be trying to expand their presence in digital space because that would help them to augment their impacts against disinformation.
When it comes to the disinformation, propaganda, and cyber threats, I think one of the most vulnerable group in Georgia are ethnic and religious minorities. Minority groups do not speak the official language of the country. In that realm, I think it's very easy for neighboring countries to disinform minority groups. We need to think about this society not as an uneducated society, but a society who does not have information. Most of the local media organizations who are operating online and in the languages of minorities are funded by the outsider countries who have their own narrative and their own political agenda. I think as a society, we need to be organized, first of all, which is very hard in our reality because of the existing poverty, unemployment, and at the same time, it is very hard to keep yourself informed from the trustable resources.
As much as civil society organizations might invest in combating disinformation themselves, as we know, the contemporary trends in disseminating disinformation, I think leave us with one viable option. And this is the society with the critical eye to information and responsible consumers in a digital space. I think equipping vulnerable population with the critical skills and also providing them with the novel perspective about the effects of disinformation. So what the issue really is and what are the threats behind it is the huge asset. And well, this is an option that also requires all the segments of society to work in cooperation. On the one hand, with governments enabling mechanisms to do so, with civil society organizations oversight, media's quality journalism, and what I think is the most important, society's willingness to cooperate and to be a bit more critical to the waves of information that they themselves receive on a daily basis.